Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're venturing into something really foundational to how your body works, fascia.
That's right. It's a term people might hear, but maybe don't grasp the full importance.
Exactly. So, we've pulled together some really interesting insights. We're looking at a book that connects uh, ancient Taoist ideas, modern science, and Rolfing.
Structural integration, yeah.
Right. And our goal really is to unpack what fascia actually is, why it's so vital, and, maybe how we can look after it better.
It's interesting. The book kicks off with this metaphor from an ancient dragon,
But
Zoran.
dragon, okay.
Yeah, describing fascia as a web inside us, kind of mirroring the cosmos, this web of living threads connecting absolutely everything.
A cosmic web inside us. I like that. It sets a certain tone, doesn't it?
It really does. It pushes us to think beyond just isolated parts. It's about the whole system.
Okay, so let's dig into that web idea. It's kind of amazing that ancient philosophies, long before, microscopes,
Right.
they seem to get this interconnectedness. The book mentions Taoist and ancient Indian traditions.
Exactly. Thousands of years back, the Taoists talked about qi, life force.
Right, flowing through meridians.
Yeah, and the book suggests, pretty compellingly I think, that fascia might actually be the physical structure underlying those meridians.
Wow. So not just energy, but a physical pathway.
Potentially, yeah. It suggests they intuitively grasped something fundamental about our biology that science is now explaining, molecularly. They saw the body as a mini universe.
A microcosm. And the Indian sages.
Very similar concept. They spoke of prana, another word for life force, flowing through nadis.
Again, interconnectedness being key for health.
Absolutely. It's striking how these ancient views line up with what we're now finding out about fascia scientifically.
So let's nail that down. What is fascia, scientifically speaking? The book breaks it down, right?
It does. It's basically a dynamic 3D network. Think collagen fibers, elastin fibers, and something called ground substance.
Okay, collagen. That's
Yeah.
the tough stuff. Strength.
Exactly, like structural cables. Provides tensile strength, resilience.
And elastin. That sounds like
You
elastin.
got it. Stretch and recoil. Flexibility, springiness.
Right. And the ground substance. That sounds a bit more mysterious.
It's like a gel or a fluid-like medium filling the spaces. It's got these molecules, proteoglycans,
Okay.
like hyaluronic acid, which holds onto water. Think hydration, lubrication, allowing things to glide. It's what makes fascia adaptable.
So it's this mix of strength, stretch, and goo, basically.
Yeah, sort of, yeah.
Yeah.
Very sophisticated mix that connects literally everything. Cells, organs, muscles, bones. It's continuous.
Okay, now connecting this back to the ancients, how did the Taoists think about cultivating this fabric? Taoist alchemy.
Yeah, their approach was really holistic, not just fixing parts, but transforming body and mind. Diet was huge.
What kind of diet?
Fresh, whole, unprocessed foods. The idea was simple.
Mm.
What you eat directly nourishes your blood, your organs, your tissues, including fascia. It impacts everything, physical and, well, spiritual.
Makes sense. And breath. Qigong breathing. You mentioned that earlier.
Oh, absolutely central. Not just about oxygen.
Mm.
They saw breath as this bridge, inner and outer worlds,
Okay.
circulating qi, purifying blood, calming the mind. And crucially, they believed specific breathing could release tension in the fascia, open up those meridians.
So conscious breathing is a fascial technique, in a way.
In their view, yes.
Yeah.
A very direct one.
And movement, Tai Chi, Qigong, we see these as gentle, but what's the fascial connection?
It's not about brute force. It's about cultivating fluidity, flexibility, this kind of effortless power.
Ah.
These slow, mindful movements were seen as ways to release restrictions in the fascial web, restore its natural elasticity, its bounciness, even attune to cosmic rhythms, they believe.
And this idea of softening and yielding, ru and shun.
Yes, that's key. It's about consciously letting go of unnecessary tension, both physical and mental.
So not being passive, but adaptable.
Exactly. Allowing the fascia to become supple, hydrated, responsive, improving resilience, energy flow. It's a very intelligent letting go.
Hydration comes up again, too. Jinye, the inner nectar, sounds vital.
It was considered absolutely crucial, not just water, but all body fluids. Blood, lymph, the fluid between cells, joint fluid.
The whole internal sea.
Precisely. Essential for vitality, key flow, even spiritual harmony. And healthy, hydrated fascia is the conduit for this jinye.
So dehydrated fascia blocks the flow.
That's the idea. It becomes sticky, restricted, leading to problems.
And their hydration practices weren't just chugging water.
No, much more mindful, drinking pure water intentionally, eating water-rich foods, and using breath and movement to actively circulate those fluids.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. Ida Rolf and Rolfing, or structural integration. How does her work connect here?
It's fascinating because Rolf came from a Western science background, but her core insights about the body's interconnectedness through fascia.
They echo the Taoists.
Very much so, in principle. She saw how imbalances in this web caused issues and developed this hands-on, layer-by-layer method.
To restore elasticity, improve alignment with gravity.
Exactly. To bring the body back into balance.
And the famous 10 series, how does that work?
It's a progressive journey. Sessions 1 to 3 usually focus on the superficial layers, think breathing, general movement patterns.
Opening things up near the surface.
Right. Then 4 to 7 go deeper to the core structures, pelvis, spine, deep muscles, aiming for stability, better alignment of the center of gravity.
Getting to the foundation.
And finally, 8 to 10 are about integration, putting all the pieces together, making it a cohesive, functional whole.
The book mentions Greg Louganis, the diver, his experience.
Yeah, his testimonial is powerful. He talks about real, lasting physical changes, but also this overall sense of well-being.
And collaboration.
Yes, he stresses that. It echoes Rolf. It's something two people do together. It requires active participation from the client.
So it's not just being fixed, it's more empowering.
That's the idea, especially how practitioners like John Baer, mentioned in the source, see it. They're guides, helping clients reconnect with their own body's wisdom.
Rolf had key principles too, right? Verticality, support, balance.
Absolutely fundamental. Verticality is about aligning with gravity efficiently.
So gravity flows through you easily.
Ideally, yes. Support is about the foundation-aligned pelvis and feet. Groundedness.
And balance.
Dynamic equilibrium. Even weight distribution, whether still or moving. When these are off, Rolf said you get knots and snags in the fascia.
Tension, compression, adhesions.
Exactly. Restricting movement and energy flow.
Let's zoom right in now. Microscopic level. What are we looking at inside fascia?
Okay, so back to basics. Collagen fibers for that tensile strength.
Okay.
Elastin fibers for the stretch and recoil.
Strength and stretch.
And the ground substance, that hydrating, lubricating gel, crucial for communication between cells too.
And it's not the same everywhere.
No, the arrangement varies. Denser collagen in tendons, ligaments where force is key. Looser, more web-like and superficial layers for more glide and movement.
And it's not just structural scaffolding, is it? It feels things.
Oh, absolutely. It's packed with sensory receptors, proprioceptors.
Sensing where your body is in space. Like close your eyes and touch your nose.
Exactly that. Body position, movement sense, and also interoceptors.
Internal sensing.
Right. Sensing your internal state, pressure, temperature, pain, even linking into emotional experience. Fascia is a massive contributor to body awareness, how we feel in our bodies.
Wow. So given how dynamic and sensory it is, what messes it up? What harms fascia?
Several things. Trauma is a big one. Injuries, surgery, even just repetitive strain. It can cause tangling, scarring, adhesions.
Sticky spots.
Basically, yeah. Inflammation's another, from diet, stress, whatever. It changes the ground substance, makes it thicker, less lubricating.
Impairs function.
Definitely. And maybe surprisingly, inactivity. Just not moving enough.
Makes it stiff.
Leads to dehydration and stiffness, yeah. Use it or lose it applies to fascia too.
The book mentions tensegrity as well. How does that relate?
Tensegrity is a really neat model. Think of structures like geodesic domes or even spider webs. Stability comes from continuous tension balanced with isolated compression. In the body, fascia is the continuous tension network.
And bones and muscles are the compression struts.
Kind of, yeah. The whole system gets stability from this interconnected tension. Forces get distributed. It's adaptable, resilient.
So a problem in your foot could genuinely affect your neck.
Through the fascial web, absolutely.
Yeah.
Local changes affect the whole system.
And how does this web interact with other body systems, nerves, circulation?
Deeply interconnected. Nerves run through fascia. It's rich in those mechanoreceptors, influencing proprioception and interoception.
So nerve function and fascial health are linked.
Intimately. Same with circulatory and lymphatic systems. They rely on fascia for fluid transport, immune function. If fascia is restricted, fluid flow suffers.
Makes sense. And emotions, you mentioned interoception.
Yeah, there's a growing understanding that fascia can hold emotional patterns. Chronic stress definitely increases fascial tension, can even change its chemistry. That mind-body link is crucial here.
Which brings us back, maybe, to the subtle realms the book touches on. Ancient traditions again.
Right. Taoism, yoga, they talk about energy bodies, qi, prana, flowing through channels, meridians, nadis.
And the idea is fascia might be involved in this.
The book proposes that, yeah.
Yeah.
Given its interconnectedness and signaling role, it could be involved in transmitting or distributing this subtle energy. That feeling sense, proprioception and interoception combined, becomes key for self-awareness, navigating the world physically and maybe energetically.
So movement isn't just about muscles and bones, it's medicine for fascia.
That's a great way to put it. The
Yeah.
emphasis isn't just on the outcome of the movement, but the experience of it, tuning into those subtle sensations.
Mindful movement, like yoga, Pilates, somatics.
Exactly. They're highlighted because they enhance body awareness, release fascial tension,
Mhm.
cultivate fluidity. Yoga often focuses on breath and stretching fascial lines.
Mm.
Pilates on core engagement, precise movement. Somatic movement really dives into the language of sensation, authentic movement patterns.
And touch, also powerful for fascia.
Hugely important. Our skin is this vast sensory organ connected right into the fascial web. Touch is fundamental communication, healing.
So things like foam rolling, SMR.
Yes, self-myofascial release,
Yeah.
using tools to apply pressure, break up adhesions, improve blood flow, enhance body awareness, reduce pain. It's great self-care.
But professional help is sometimes needed.
Definitely. For deeper issues, modalities like rolfing, myofascial release therapy, craniosacral, visceral manipulation, somatic experiencing, they offer more nuanced approaches.
Important to find good practitioners, though.
Crucial. Skilled, compassionate, holistic, intentional touch, the book suggests, can facilitate energy exchange, unlock self-healing.
Okay, wrapping this all together. Diet, hydration, lifestyle. Nourishing the web.
Back to that Taoist diet as medicine, an anti-inflammatory diet, antioxidants, omega-3s, whole foods, supports fascia. Sugar, processed stuff, not so good. Damages collagen, promotes inflammation.
Hydration, we covered essential. Stress.
Big impact. Chronic stress increases fascial tension, inflammation. Sleep is vital too for tissue repair, making new collagen and elastin.
And environment.
Yeah, minimizing toxins, connecting with nature, these things help. It's about balance.
Yeah.
Good food, water, managing stress, good sleep, nature connection.
So if someone listening wants the main takeaways from all this, what should they remember?
Okay, first, fascia isn't just packing material. It's a vital, living network impacting movement, posture, sensation, overall well-being. Hugely important.
Got it.
Second, ancient wisdom knew about this interconnectedness, offering valuable insights.
Right.
Third, modern science is catching up, revealing fascia's complexity and validating some old ideas.
Cool.
Fourth, you can actively support your fascia mindful movement, self-care like SMR, healthy lifestyle choices. You have agency.
Empowering.
And fifth, don't hesitate to seek skilled professional help for deeper issues.
Excellent summary. So here's a final thought to leave everyone with.
Okay.
Consider this web of fascia, how it connects not just your physical parts, but maybe your energy, your emotions, maybe even connecting you to that larger cosmic web we started with. What possibilities might open up if you explore that interconnectedness more deeply? Something to think about. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.